Hmm. Another thing that's important too is resetting, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some people have that mentality, grind 24/7.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing wrong with that,
Right. However,
but you
mm-hmm.
can't burn yourself out. Yep.
Correct.
Uh-huh. I,
Correct.
great minds think alike.
Yes. Yes. And
Can't
burnout
burn
is
yourself
real.
out. Hmm. Right. Because I'm gonna be honest, I used to have that mentality all the time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I never, never,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I used to think I was Michael Jordan on the court. Grind
Yeah.
24/7.
All the
Don't
time.
stop. But again, as I got older, more
Yes.
wiser and more intellectual, I'm like, okay, Nick, breathe. Let's
Yes.
slow it down.
Yes.
You're on a great path. You're
Mm-hmm.
inspiring a lot of people, but a reset is a part of the grind. And a
Of
reset
course.
doesn't make you weak. It does not make you weak. It makes you smart.
Mm-hmm.
It makes you smart. And ever since then, my life has changed
Yes. Yes.
clearly.
We
And my
we have to be
recovery.
proactive. Yeah, we have to be proactive with that. A
Hmm.
lot of times people tend to be reactive, and so they wait until they get to the place of burnout to then say like, "Oh, I have to like reset, I have to do something about this." But you can be intentional to do it ahead of time. So even if for example, Nick, like I have a really busy week ahead of me, there should be something within your calendar that gives you an opportunity to rest, right? Not until 2 weeks, 3 weeks later do you say like, oh, dag, like I haven't really had a good night's sleep, or I haven't really had an opportunity to pour back into myself in a way
Hmm.
that feels healthy or edifying, so to speak. So I think planning out the reset is really important, whether that's I'm going to get a massage, I'm going to get a good night's sleep, I'm going
Hmm.
to zone out to my music, I'm going to draw, I'm going to journal.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of Mind Over Matter, where we talk resilience, growth, and motivation. I'm your host, Nick Stones, and today we have a very special guest joining the show. She's someone who's passionate about helping others grow mentally, emotionally, and spiritually through life challenges. And today we're joined by therapist Tamika Covington, right? If I'm saying it
Yes,
right?
yes.
Covington, yes, okay. For a powerful conversation about mindset, purpose, overcoming adversity, and protecting peace. So
Yes.
sit back, relax, and enjoy the episode. So first and foremost, Tamika, how you doing today?
I'm good, Nick. First, thank you so much for having me on. This is just a dope platform that I've seen you started up. So thank you for considering me and just bringing me on to have this conversation. I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely, and especially you're a therapist, right?
Yes, yes, I am a
A lot
therapist.
of
So
yes, a lot
yeah,
of
I work.
I'm
I'm
sorry.
sorry, I'm talking over you. Go ahead, Nick.
It's okay. We're back. We're back. It's been a minute. It's been a minute. But yeah, a lot of young students my age or adults, navigating through life challenges, they need people like you, a lot of therapists to believe in them, encourage them, and to strive for their purpose, right? Because a lot of people, in my generation now are, and we're gonna get into this conversation a little bit later, but lately, obviously, it's been rough with the job market out there. A lot of college
Mhm.
students are like seeking jobs, but they've been getting rejected, and it's hard. It's hard to deal
Yes,
with. Like
yes,
it
absolutely.
stings, right?
Hmm.
So we'll get onto that later, but I definitely can't wait to discuss that on
Right.
how they how to mentally stay in check during
Focus.
rough obstacles. Yeah.
Yes, for sure.
Mhm.
But
Yep.
yeah, so pretty much I am what you would call a psychotherapist. And so I
Hmm.
do work with the group practice. Right now, I'm also a high school social worker. So I kind of work with the young people, which is awesome. I really enjoy that. But then I also have an opportunity to work with adults, more college age, couples, men and women within private practice. And so uh, most times I do what we call talk therapy, or some people know it as CBT, which is cognitive behavioral therapy. And all that that means is that we're really just having a conversation about how you can still be present within your current situation and maybe change your mindset a little bit about how you respond or how you process what's happening. So a lot of times we can't necessarily just up and change what's going on in our lives, but if we have a shift of mindset, to feel that we can, take it on, we can overcome, we can empower ourselves to face these hard things, then it makes a world of a difference.
Makes a world of a difference, right? And again, it ties back to what I said, right? A lot of college students, high school students, they need that motivation.
Yes, yes,
They need that motivation. Like
for
when
sure.
it comes to, navigating student life, sports, clubs, anything, anything.
Yeah.
It plays a role in everything.
Exactly, exactly. I agree. I think that especially with young people, it's a matter of finding a safe space, like younger and older, but especially for young people, it's trying to find a safe space and not feeling like what they disclose to someone is going to get back out there, whether it's within the smaller community, whether the school community or on social media. It's really hard for people to be vulnerable. And so when you're finding people who tend to kind of hold back or not willing to open up, a lot of times it's because they feel like they haven't found that connection or that safe space with someone or with a group of people. So, like you said, like clubs can be an awesome opportunity to connect with people, affinity groups can be an awesome opportunity to connect with people. But it's really a matter of how those things are structured so that it's like what happens in the room stays in the room, whether that's a one on one conversation or with multiple people.
Most of the people, right? And another thing I would say, well, tying back to what you said, right? What could also help those people, not just athletes, not just students, but I would say, well, actually, it's still students, but students that have a little bit of social anxiety, right?
Yes, yes,
Help them get out their comfort zone, um, figure out what they're passionate about, right? And who knows, like there could be so many people in their environment that they're connected to what they love to do. So like for example, basketball was always my thing, right?
yes, yes.
Um, I grew up around the game,
Mm-hmm.
played it all my life. Let's say
Yes.
most of my life, and I admit I was a bit anxious when it first came to me trying to socialize with other players, but that's because I was a bit bashful, right?
Yes.
Bashful, I
Mm-hmm.
would make mistakes. I would turn the ball over so much. I
Mm-hmm.
would not communicate on defense. Like it was just like that anxiety just building up in me. But as I started to grow more, like as I got older and grew more mentally and physically, I knew that it's it's normal. It's normal.
Yeah,
We're human. We're athletes. We're not going to make mistakes on and off the court.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Right.
I think that that's a great point. I've also, worked with athletes within the field and creatives and people from different backgrounds. And I think a lot of times the feelings are mutual, in the sense that there's a lot weighing on on your shoulders as an athlete, and not wanting to let the team down and feeling like you're showing up as your best self all the time, which in actuality, it's not possible to be at the top of your game all the time. Like, do we put out our best efforts? Yes. But having a good coach makes a difference, team morale makes a difference, and
Right.
being
Having that,
more
just
confident.
having that support, having that
Yes,
support,
yes, for
coaches, your teammates.
sure. And being more
Mhm.
confident in your abilities. So
Right.
saying that, you know what, like I know that I'm very well capable of doing this thing. And sometimes realizing like, okay, I'm having an off day. I might need something else to prep me prior to getting on the court or wherever it is that you're showcasing your talents. And so I think just once you're able to identify that for yourself, then sky's the limit for sure.
Okay.
Being able to say that
Mm.
like I have anxiety, or I struggle with perfectionism, which I do think a lot of athletes may struggle with perfectionism. It can really get in the way of how you show up, just each and every day, and making sure that like you're not so much in your head that you're not able to perform at your best ability because you're overthinking everything.
Overthinking. And I'm
Hmm.
so glad you mentioned that because, oh my goodness. By the way, shout out to the New York Knicks, NBA
Shout
champions.
out to the New
Yes.
York Knicks, born and raised. Let's go.
But you made a good point on athletes seeking profession. Like for everybody tuning in, there's no such thing as profession.
Yes,
There's
yes.
no such thing as perfection. Just when you're on the court, play your game,
Hmm.
right? But
Yes,
show your best effort. You may not score 40 points, 50 points, but that shouldn't matter, right?
yes.
What matters is showing leadership,
Hmm.
right? Having that winning mentality, teamwork, communication, right? And just having that ambition. I would say, like, if you show that, that's what matters more than just worrying about like how many points you scored or how many assists you got or how many rebounds you averaged, right? Because
Right.
a lot of players, and not just basketball players, I'm just saying athletes in general, like, oh my goodness, this just came to me too. I always talked about this in my previous episode. Shout out to Coach Dan and Coach Brooke. This is where it gets interesting. A lot of athletes tie their identity to the jersey, but no
Yes,
identity beyond the jersey.
yes,
And that's the challenge that's hard for a lot of athletes to overcome because they're tied to the jersey, but nothing else. But not realizing that there's so much more to the sport, right? You can still stay connected to what you love to do, even if you don't go pro. So, for example, you can still coach, right? You could be a mental health coach. You could be
yes,
an assistant coach. You could be maybe even maybe a trainer,
yes,
a trainer,
absolutely.
right?
Hmm.
Fitness
Hmm.
trainer. I mean, probably back to everything. But
Hmm. Hmm.
the point is, you can still stay connected to the game, even if you're not on the roster.
Yeah,
And I feel like a lot of athletes struggle with comprehending that.
yeah, yeah.
That's the conversation I wanted to get into,
Yeah,
right?
I
Is
think
that
that it's having tunnel vision, right? And seeing that things, you can focus on a path that you're on, but at the same time, not being so tunnel vision that you don't see all the other opportunities that are around you. Like you said, to still be in the field that you love, but just doing something different. Because at the end of the day, our bodies don't stay the same, in our teens, 20s, 30s, 40s, and beyond. And so how are you able to pivot when, physically things change? Like, how do you allow yourself to think
Mhm.
beyond what you see right now?
Right, right. And I went through that. I
Mm-hmm.
went through that actually. College, during my freshman year of college, I tried to walk on the basketball team. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. But that moment forced me to pivot. That's the word, pivot.
Yes. Yes, yes.
Get yourself. I got myself involved in everything. Like I'm a journalist for the athletic department. I started the podcast. I connected with all the connected with everybody. Everybody. And ever since I started that podcast, the recent podcast, Sharing Visions, that's when a lot of people started to that's when we started to connect, I would say.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Yeah.
whenever.
It's not easy. I think that again it goes back to community. Your community matters. The people that you allow to speak into your life matters. The people that you associate yourself with matters. I think no matter what fields of work you're in, but especially if you are trying to progress and to grow, you need to be around other people who have a growth mindset as well. And so if people are limited in their thinking, whether because they
Right.
were only able to reach up into a certain point in their life. And so now they're, I'll say, projecting that onto you, like, oh, this is as far as it can go. Then that is not really the most conducive environment for you to be your best self in. So making sure that like you're aligning yourself with like-minded people. It doesn't mean that you don't accept feedback from people or allow people to give you insight just because you know they may think differently than you, but I do think that you have to like learn how to, so to speak, chew the meat and spit out the bones, right? Like you
Right.
take what applies and
Indeed.
everything else you kind of release it, so you're not taking on stuff that's not you.
I agree. I agree. So
Mhm.
actually, I don't even think I asked the question. Question.
Not yet.
Yeah,
Just
So
flowing.
yeah, just flowing. Uh-huh. So Tamika, what inspired your passion for helping people mentally and emotionally?
Okay. So I would say as long as I can remember, I've always been someone who really had a heart for people. I care for people. I think that I have always been the person that sought out to make the person who may not be as popular in school or people may,
Right.
be ready to poke fun at, um, feel welcomed and a part of a larger group or community. So whether it was elementary or middle school or high school, I was that person. It's like, okay, leave it up to Tamika. She's going to go talk to the person that's a little bit quote unquote awkward. I think for most of my life, I've been very comfortable within myself. And so for me, it took nothing away from me to go and help someone else and boost their confidence and give them words of encouragement. And I did go to, um, when I studied undergrad, I went for my bachelor's in business management. And after working for a few years, then I was like, actually, I really do love helping people. I am always working with young people for like youth organizations or nonprofits or in schools. And I decided, like, instead of just telling people that I love helping people, like, why don't I get a degree to kind of back that up? And
Mm-hmm.
so that's when I went back for my master's in social work. And then it was from there that I kind of took off with getting back into the field of being more so a social worker and a mental health provider.
Right. Right. And it ties back to what I said in the beginning. There's a lot of students, right, in
Yes.
school, college that need guidance.
Mm-hmm.
They need
Mm-hmm.
guidance, right? Because even this too, some students in their majors, right? They're majoring probably in something that they never thought they see themselves in, or never. And it's hard for them to do it alone. It's very hard for them to like to because a lot of people I would say in life do feel alone, and they feel like, how can I do this without assistance, right? I don't have a support system. I don't have this. I don't have that, right? And that's the missing puzzle piece that you need to gain your confidence.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you, for example, big shout out to you for helping those young students.
Yes.
Big-
Thank you. I mean, you brought up a good point there because I like to tell people as well that I think that we all have almost a void in our life, if I can use that word, right? That we all can identify a void in our life. And I think people tend to fill those voids with different things. And so that's when you have healthy versus unhealthy coping mechanisms. So if we're all having voids, uh, obviously we're trying to fill that void. We don't want to feel empty. We don't want to feel lonely, and so we find different things to gravitate to or to attach ourselves to say, oh, this fulfills that thing that I feel like I'm missing. So for some people, it is working out and exercise, right? For other people, it's grinding and working hard all the time. For other people, it's being in community with people. Always with their friends, always with their family. For others, it may be like religion or spirituality. So I think that it's really important for people to identify there are voids there. Like we all pretty much have them. And it's a matter of saying, like, how can I fill this void in a healthy way and not develop unhealthy coping mechanisms that in the long run then kind of backfire on us or can have negative consequences.
Mhm. Another thing that's important too is resetting, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some people have that mentality, grind 24/7.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing wrong with that,
Right. However,
but you
mm-hmm.
can't burn yourself out. Yep.
Correct.
Uh-huh. I,
Correct.
great minds think alike.
Yes, yes. And
Can't
burnout
burn
is
yourself
real.
out. Right. Because I'm gonna be honest, I used to have that mentality all the time.
Mhm. Mhm.
I never
Mhm. Mhm.
I used to think I was Michael Jordan on the court. Grind
Yeah,
24/7.
all the
Don't
time.
stop. But again, as I got older, more
Yes.
wiser and more intellectual, I'm like, okay, Nick, breathe. Let's
Yes.
slow it down.
Yes.
You're on a great path. You're
Mhm.
inspiring a lot of people, but you know a reset is a part of the grind. And a
Of
reset
course.
doesn't make you weak. It does not make you weak. It makes you smart.
Mm-hmm.
It makes you smart. And ever since then, my life has changed
Yes, yes.
completely.
We
And my
we have to be
recovery.
proactive. Yeah, we have to be proactive with that. A lot
Hmm.
of times people tend to be reactive, and so they wait until they get to the place of burnout to then say like, "Oh, I have to like reset, I have to do something about this." But you can be intentional to do it ahead of time. So even if for example, Nick, like I have a really busy week ahead of me, there should be something within your calendar that gives you an opportunity to rest, right? Not until 2 weeks, 3 weeks later do you say like, oh, dag, like I haven't really had a good night's sleep, or I haven't really had an opportunity to pour back
Yeah.
into myself in a way
Hmm.
that feels healthy or edifying, so to speak. So I think planning out the reset is really important, whether that's I'm going to get a massage, I'm going to get a good night's sleep, I'm going
Hmm.
to zone out to my music, I'm going to draw, I'm going to journal, something
You're
that'll
right.
just,
Journal, do anything that keeps your
yeah,
mind occupied, right?
yeah.
Anything that keeps you occupied. One of the
Mhm.
things that keep me busy during like my recovery session is well, obviously I go to the gym across the street called Light Time.
Uh-huh.
What I
Yes.
like to do in my free time is yes, work out,
Mhm.
yes, play ball, get some shots up. But one of the other things I love to do, and for everybody tuning in, you should look into this.
They should tap
I
in.
love, yep, I love to hit the cold plunge, the spa
Mm.
area, the cold
Hmm.
plunge, the jacuzzi, the rain shower.
Yes.
Cold plunge is hard because it's
It is
cold,
hard. It is. It is.
but you just
It
can't
is a
think
reset.
about it. It's really like I tell you, it's mental toughness. That's really what you
Hmm.
got to do. You just got to get in there and breathe. Can't
Hmm.
think about
And breathing is important too. I'm glad you mentioned that.
it.
Because that's something that even my personal trainers are always like, Tamika, you gotta breathe. You're like, you are trying to make it through these workouts. I need you to take a breath. So that is always something that like when working with a personal trainer, I'm like practicing and I'm trying to be more intentional about,
Mhm.
because it is a matter of like powering through. But if you're not taking those breaths, like you can hurt yourself. Like you're not pacing yourself in a way that's healthy. So taking a deep breath, processing, that mind over matter is really important.
Hmm. It's very important, very significant. Some other question.
Yes.
And this is a really good question because I think a lot of people want to know this. Why do you think mindset is so powerful during difficult seasons of life?
Ah, all right. All
I
right.
think
So
you
why
I
I
think
think
you have
mindset
that answer on
is
this
so
one. Mhm.
important during difficult seasons in life. I think that when we're going through difficult seasons, it can really feel like the end of the road. It can feel like there is no light at the end of the tunnel. And it's important to remember that the only thing that is really constant is change. So life changes. We're going to have our high moments in life. We're going to have our low moments in life. And not because we're in a what you might call like a valley season doesn't mean that you're never going to get back up, right? You're never going to get back to the peak of wherever you were. And sometimes I think that it's a mindset that we feel like what was behind us or what we had or what we experienced in life is the best that we would ever experience. And so we get stuck in the past. And there's a saying or like, this way of looking at it where it's if you focus too much on the past, then you bring like depression into your life. Like you can be depressed because you're focusing so much on what happened, what could have been, what should have been, what would have been. And if you focus too much on the future, that can bring about a lot of anxiety in your life because you're anticipating the next thing all the time. So it's important to have a healthy balance. It's important to say, you know what? Like, I know that I'm strong. I know that this thing is different than what I'm used to, but I'm very well capable of accomplishing whatever this is with the right tools, with the right resources, with the right people in my corner. And that takes intentionality. So it is important for you to make it out of difficult seasons by thinking that you can actually do it. Whatever you think about yourself, whatever you think is capable, or whatever you think is not capable, is kind of what shows up in your life. So the more we're like locked into like I got this, like I could do it.
Right.
I hit a hard place, but it's not where I'm gonna stay forever. It makes a world of a difference. So I really think that it's important just to make it out of difficult seasons or to process things with a healthy mindset, um, and see the difference from there compared to if you did not have a healthy mindset.
I agree. Totally agree. That mindset, honestly, is everything.
Yes.
Everything. Like, if I can go on like a 2 hour lecture with mindset,
Yes.
right? Because everybody thinks the strength comes from here, the
Hmm.
core or the legs. It's really here.
It's only that's only a part of it. Correct.
The only
Exactly.
part.
Hmm.
The only part because you're in control of your decisions. You're in control of how you want to control your mind.
Yes. Yes.
Right?
That's a good point. That's a good point, Nick. So there's a saying that sometimes I think people use it loosely. But this is like it's an idea of having what might call like a victim mentality. And I'm not, using that terminology for people who have been harmed in any type of way as an actual victim, but more so a mentality that constantly puts you in a position of being an underdog, right? Like, oh, life is always against me, or nothing ever works out for me, or I always have things tough. When you think that way, it tends to show up in your life, and people don't realize that. And so they're constantly thinking negatively. They're constantly feeling like they're not capable of whatever it is that they're setting their mind to. And if everything you look at becomes another defeat for you, then you're going to get stuck in that place. So
You are.
really putting yourself in a place of being more so of like victorious, right? Like powerful, capable versus like I can't do it. It makes a difference in how you see the outcomes and how you see even difficulties in your life. Just because something hard happens does not mean that the world is against you, right? Like I hear even a student sometimes, they're like, I always miss the train. I always miss the train. It's like the world is against me. And I'm just like, it's New York City. It happened. I'm like, the world is not against you because you always miss the train. You're not being punished. But maybe it is also a way for you to look at like, do I need to be more responsible in any way? Like, is this teaching me anything about myself? Do I need to be more timely, wake up earlier? Do I need to be more disciplined versus looking at things as though they're happening outside of you and that you don't have any control? There's a lot of things we do have control with, and we should be more responsible to handle those things accordingly.
I agree.
Hmm.
So I agree. That was funny.
Yes, it's a thing.
Now listen, honestly, whoever that is tuning in, just remember this: it's New York City.
It's New York
And you
City.
said it best.
Yes.
You said it best. New York City, right? It's a packed city, and especially like what time does he catch the train, or he or she?
Usually after 7, after 8 o'clock, and I hear it from multiple people. So this is not even one person per se, but like over the years, I've heard it from multiple people. But it's their mindset, and so helping them, me having an opportunity to help them to see things differently, to look at things differently. How can you go back to a place of feeling empowered versus feeling like, oh, everything again is happening around you and you don't have any say? Like, oh well, I can't. I can't predict when the train comes, but you can plan to leave the house 15 minutes earlier. And maybe that will get you to school 10 or 20 minutes earlier. And so now you feel better about yourself because you're on time. You don't feel rushed. You don't feel like you're going to miss anything. You don't feel overwhelmed when you're walking through those doors. And so having great time management really makes a difference with that versus kind of cutting things very closely because you feel like, well, if the train was supposed to come at 7:40 and it came at 8 o'clock, then that's not my fault. But you can do better at just saying, you know what, I'm going to do my best to leave a little bit earlier.
Yeah, that's it. That's what you gotta do.
Hmm.
At the same time, I'm pretty sure like your parents even um drop gems on you with this. That time management is everything, right?
Yes.
And
And I
it's
know your
okay
mother
to
does.
not be perfect.
Shout out to
Oh yeah.
her.
Shout out to mom. Uh-huh.
Yeah, shout out to
Mom is a
mom.
big deal. Shout out to mom, but and dad too. And dad, can't
Yes,
forget him.
yes, and dad, exactly, exactly. Shout out to dad
Yep.
too.
Time management, obviously, not a lot of people are perfect at it, and that's okay.
Hmm. Hmm.
But it is a very significant skill that you must work on, I will say.
Yes,
Right? And a good example you just made, right? If the train comes at 7:40 and then it come at 7:40, it's not your fault. Agree, right? But sometimes it could come a little earlier. You never know, right? So it's always best to, I would say, beat the train to the finish line.
yes, yes. Agreed. Give yourself some more time.
Give yourself some more time, right?
Hmm.
Uh-huh. And I had another question, actually, tying back to that,
Hmm.
because I think it kind of that like self doubt kind of plays a role in that, probably, right? Kind of self doubt, right? Somewhat. So,
Yeah.
why do you think so many people struggle with self doubt even when they have potential in their purpose? Like, I'm just saying in general, like,
Well, I mean, I think that could be a two-part thing.
could be.
So if it's okay with you, I want to touch on the purpose part uh
Yeah,
first.
absolutely.
I don't believe that everybody feels that they've identified, and it's not even that I don't believe. I know that there are many people who feel that they have not identified their purpose in life. Do I feel that that takes time? Yes. Do I feel that that takes intentionality? Yes. But a lot of times I think people are looking for this grand thing versus like, what is it that weighs on my heart? What is it that's important to me? What is it that I enjoy doing? Me talking to people is something that I enjoy doing. Me encouraging people is something that I enjoy doing naturally. And so I
I
feel
agree
like
with that 1000%. Yes.
yeah, like it's something that comes so naturally to us. So I don't think it's something that we have to like look so far out of ourselves when we're trying to figure out like what is my purpose. It's right there within you. I believe that there are times which, if I could be vulnerable, there were times that being a social worker or being in the service field was not popular, right? You tell someone you're a social worker, you tell someone you work with young people, and it's always like, oh, that's so cute, right? Like it wasn't respected as maybe some people who worked more in the corporate sector. And so for a while, I had to sit with that. And for a while, I was like, oh, well, maybe I want to change my field and maybe I should do something different because I felt like I wanted a level of respect or acknowledgement for the work that I put in. It's not just talking about feelings and feel good all day. Like there is a science behind therapy. There's a science behind social work. That's why they say there's evidence-based practice. Like there are research, papers and different things that are done so that we can make sure that we're not harming people in our effort to help them. So impact or intentions versus impact is two different things. Everybody feels, oh yeah, just talking to somebody, I can do that. You might not want to, because what we might think we are good at, whether talking to our friends or family, that doesn't mean from a therapeutic sense it shows up in the same way. So we have to be mindful about that. So I just wanted to touch on that as far as like purpose. It's important to know that it's not this grand thing outside of you. Your purpose is what is it that you see that might be like an issue? What is it that you love doing? What is it that you're good at? And then just going from there.
Right.
But to get back to your other question about you said self-doubt, was it?
Yeah, self
Right?
doubt. Yeah, a lot of
When it comes to
people, tend
self-doubt.
to have, because I even have friends that self doubted themselves a lot.
Yeah, yeah. I think it goes back to your mindset and how you process things. For some people, they have possibly had a really hard upbringing or didn't always have the right support system. Um, to make them believe in themselves. And so it really goes back to like what your environment is like. So yes, some of it is nature versus nurture. So your nature is just like who you are and how you think and what makes you you. But then
Makes you,
nurture is coming from the outside, components, the people that you're around, the school environments that you're in, the after school activities that you're a part of. Who are your coaches? Who are your parents, right? Who are your caregivers? Do you have anyone around you that has inspired you growing up, whether it was an older cousin or brother, or like being able to have your dad in your life? Some people don't have that experience. And so for them, it creates a sense of self doubt. They
mm,
don't feel worthy of what it is that they've set their mind to. And so it's first considering that you are worthy, you are enough. Your the things that you do on the outside doesn't is not an end all be all. It's a matter of what you feel within yourself. So once you have that mindset, I think it's easier to overcome, it's easier to build up your self-esteem so that you're not constantly doubting yourself.
right. Great answer. Great
Yes.
answer. Amazing answer.
Good. Thank you.
And because going back to what I said, like there's so many people that I had in my life that self doubted themselves. And I had my moments too when I was younger. I did.
Yeah.
I
I
did
think
too,
so
but
too. Yeah.
it's normal. But I just took that as motivation just to get better, I would say.
Yes.
Right? Not
Mhm.
just not just like what I'm talented at, but as a human being, right? A lot of people and it's okay to believe in your talent. It's okay to believe you can go far with it. Absolutely, right? But coaches now these days and therapists and like teachers, professors, they want to see yes, they would love to see athletes win on and off the court, off the field, but they just want to see you develop yourself as a human being, right? Uplifting up, right? Encouraging them, just filling in the gap, right? Because you were once in their shoes, so now you know what it feels like. And then if you give them that motivation, they'll start to believe in themselves too, and then they'll carry on the torch,
Yeah.
right?
Pay
And
it
then
forward. Yeah.
right, yeah, and then they'll urge more of the younger generation
Hmm.
to
Hmm.
strive for their best, right? And to make good decisions.
Yes. Yes.
Make good decisions, right?
Yeah.
Because as much as I don't like to talk about this, it's been happening for a while.
Mhm.
Um, a lot of kids now these days they're using like weed, vapes as coping mechanisms, and it's not good at all.
Yeah.
That's not good at all.
Yeah.
There's got to be other ways for you to deal with, your stress, to deal with whatever you're struggling with, your struggles. There's other ways.
Yeah.
Just
It
like what we
is.
talked about, just like what we talked about. Find a hobby, find something you enjoy,
Hmm.
right? And that'll keep you busy. It'll keep you happy in moments, right? And then notice that when you get out of your comfort zone, you'll start to see like you'll start to meet other people at that. You'll probably meet other people that went through the same thing you went to, and that's what builds bonds, right?
Good point. Yeah. It goes back to like, do I have healthy or unhealthy coping skills?
Mm-hmm.
And the thing about like substance use in general, like me working with young people, I'm like no judgment. I'm not judging you to act like I'm better than. I think that there are better ways than to constantly feel like you have to smoke or drink or use other substances
Yeah,
because I think those substances help you to disconnect or disassociate. But the issue and whatever it is that you're feeling that void about is still going to be there when that high wears off or when the alcohol wears off. And so it's better to consider the things again that have a positive impact on you, even when it's all said and done. You work out, that workout session is over in whatever, 30 minutes, an hour. When you're done, your body is thanking you for it. Your mind should feel clearer, like
right.
you
Your
feel
mind should
stronger.
feel clear. Your mind should feel at
Yes,
peace. Your body feels at peace, right? It
correct.
feels relieved. It feels relieved, right?
Exactly.
And
Versus feeling
honestly,
like I need another hit of something.
yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, yeah. Fitness also plays a good role in this.
Yes.
Me and my mom my
I
mom and I are
myself.
workout buddies. Yep, we're workout buddies, and this started my love for fitness started during COVID, actually,
Hmm.
surprisingly, because that's when the
Hmm.
gyms were shut down. But um, I was in Yonkers most of the time because it was my dad's house because we had virtual school,
Yes.
right? So we had weights in the terrace, had a jump rope, had resistant bands, everything. When it really started when obviously there wasn't much to do because of COVID, right? Gyms were shut down. They took down the courts. They took down the rims.
That's and everything. Yep.
That's yeah. So I'm just sitting there like, there's got to be something to do. Like I want to do something to get my mind clear, right? Yeah, I wanted to be physically strong. I wanted to like obviously because I'm an athlete, so I need to build up my strength on
Yes.
my arms and legs. But I'm just like thinking to myself, but what can I do here? that like
Mm-hmm.
just keep me occupied. Not just to impress, but to keep me occupied,
Right.
right?
Yes. Yes.
That's when I started picking up the weights
Mm-hmm.
every single morning. What was it morning? No, I think it was after school. I was so motivated. I was dedicated. I just went to the terrace. And I'm just like,
Fresh
listen,
air. Yes.
and yes, 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 and fresh air. Yep,
Yes.
like
Mm-hmm.
that.
Mm-hmm.
Like
And it makes
your body needs fresh air.
a
That's not,
difference.
body definitely needs fresh air. So ever since I started doing that, fitness has became part of my lifestyle.
Yeah, yeah. And that's it, right? Like it at first it was just a thought and you put it into action and then it became, like you said, a part of your lifestyle. So it's a practice of something. Exercising any muscle, whether it's a mental muscle, a physical muscle, discipline, your discipline can also be seen like as a muscle that you have to gain. Um, but anything that you do consistently, you're gonna build that muscle. You're gonna be able to say like I have discipline and consistency in this
Hmm.
area, and now I see transformation in my life because that's the end goal at the end of the day. Like we all want to be better, or we should want to be better than we were yesterday. The competition is ourselves. The competition is not the person across from us. The competition is not anybody outside of us. Like we are the competition. It's, for Nick, for you to be like, how can I be a better version of Nick today than I was yesterday? And the same thing for me. Being able to accept
Make it be a better
healthy
make
and
it,
constructive feedback and criticism is important because I want to be a better version of myself. I don't want to be the same person that I was 5 or 10 years ago, and that takes work. But the results is just endless after that.
totally agree. And you hit the jackpot with that answer. It's you versus you.
It's you versus you,
You
always.
versus
That's it.
always, right? You see, and that's another thing that ties back,
Mm-hmm.
like what we were saying. Yeah, sports are about competition, and that's fun, right? I mean, it's all about competition, but reality is, yeah, there could be a person out there that's more talented than you, but that shouldn't matter.
It will be, yes, and that's okay.
Okay, right? Listen, I'm not the greatest basketball player in the world, but I know I'm a great basketball player,
Exactly. Yep.
right? I know I'm a great basketball player. I know there's plenty of people more talented than me, and that's
Mm-hmm.
okay because I don't
Mm-hmm.
see that. I don't see that. I don't see myself in competition with them because I
Right.
know I'm striving to just be my own play, my own best friend,
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
right? And I get it. We were young. We were just like, no, I'm better than you. I'm better
Right.
at this. I'm better
Let
at
me
that.
try my
Like,
yeah.
blah, blah, blah. If I can look at myself in the mirror, I'll just say, come on, relax,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
right?
Healthy competition sometimes, right? But healthy competition is not getting stuck in a mindset that you're constantly comparing yourself to other people. And even with social media, that becomes difficult too because you're constantly seeing images of people who are promoting their best life. It's their highlights. It's not when they're struggling, it's not when they're down bad, it's not when they're crying by themselves. It's all the things that are going well. And so when you're comparing your reality to someone's highlight, it really can distort your way of looking at yourself. And so we have to be mindful
We
about
do.
that as well. Like social media can be inspiring. It's good to be able to look at, something online and be like, oh wow, like that inspires me or that excites me or that's in alignment with like my passion or my purpose or whatever. But beyond that, if you're looking at it like that, like I'm falling short again because this person is doing this and I'm not, or this person has this and I don't. Like we're all on our own path and it's important that we stay in our own lane. We all have our own gifts, our own purpose, and as long as we're focused on that, like we're impacting the people that we need to impact,
Right.
right? Like
So
my community and the people that I'm able to talk to may be different than you, and vice versa. We all have a group of people to reach, and as long as we're focused on our talents and our purposes, like we can reach those people.
good. Yeah, absolutely
Mhm.
good. And then what you mentioned about before community, right? That's what brings a community.
Yeah, yeah. Being able to see that we all have different strengths.
Hmm.
We can't all be the same on the team. Like we can't all be, don't have me start making up stuff, but we can't all be guards or shooters or what. I don't have me make up stuff. You know the terminology, right? But we all have different um um roles
Okay,
that
yeah,
we
we all
can.
have different roles and we have different challenges, yes, and
Yeah,
we all have our I would say somewhere we have. We have different, I would say, I like to use this one. We have different life goals,
Yes.
right? Life
Yes.
goals, we operate differently sometimes, I would say.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Just naturally, yep.
Mm-hmm. That's okay.
Mm-hmm. And it makes up the greater team.
Mm-hmm.
We can't
Indeed.
all be the same thing.
Can't. We
Mm-hmm.
absolutely can't, right? So I want to get onto the question that I said in the beginning, right?
Okay.
Obviously with the job market now these days, and even I went through it during my college process.
Mm-hmm.
Say when was it? Like, yeah, like around April.
Mm-hmm.
I've done a lot of interviews, a lot of job interviews,
Yes.
right? I'll admit I did get rejected a few times. I was okay because obviously I trained myself for those moments, right? Because I know everything in life is not gonna go my way.
Right.
I know that. But it is obviously difficult for a lot of younger college students like me because they want to make money,
Mm-hmm.
right? They don't just want to. They don't want to live in like their parents' shadows where they have to utilize their money all the time, right?
Yeah.
So, what advice would you give to any college students who are feeling the stings of getting job rejected, and how do they stay mentally sharp?
Going to speak on this from two different perspectives again, right? So I think that people who know me or have gotten to know me know that I'm a person of faith. And so I would say like my faith is something that keeps me going. It's something that even when things don't go my way, I feel like there is a higher power, there's a greater being that's directed my steps and my path. And so for those people who are people of faith, I would encourage the same thing, like to believe that if this didn't work out for you, that there is something better ahead of you, and not thinking that this was the end all be all. um, when I first graduated from college, of course, in my mind, I was going to be making the big bucks. I don't know where I got that from, but in my mind, that's how it was going to work. And so it was between either not hearing back or hearing back from jobs and being like, oh, but that salary is not really what I expected it to be. And so that was a little bit discouraging as well. And so when I, would get a rejection email, of course, it was like, oh, Zag, like I really thought that the interview went well, or this was going to be finally my opportunity to come out of it. But realizing that, again, if that didn't work out for me, then there's something better, more fitting for me, because I am a true believer of what's meant for you can never miss you. That's what I believe. I don't believe that people can take away stuff that's meant for you. I don't believe that um like can people tamper with stuff? Yes, right. Can people say like, oh well, I really wanted to hire my niece over this outsider? Absolutely. But I believe, again, if something is meant for you, it's going to come back for you, whatever the timeline is. Or there's going to be a different setup for you. So just like being encouraged that it's not the end all be all, um, to know that this is a part of the process. It is normal. It is not that something is particularly wrong with you. There are hundreds and thousands of people applying for the same jobs. So keeping that in mind as well. Sometimes people feel like, oh, well, I applied to 20 jobs. Do you know how many thousands of people apply to those same 20 jobs? And even now, because of the job market, there are jobs that maybe some of you younger people would have been working before that now more older adults are going after. So you have your high school diploma, somebody else has a college degree, somebody else has a master's degree, all going for the same job. And so people should take into consideration that type of dynamic and nuance as well, and not thinking, oh, it was me against two other people who are applying for a job and the other two people, or one of the other two people got it. It's hundreds of people, thousands of people at times applying for a job. So just being like realistic in your mindset, but also saying, like, you know what, when I look at this job description, is this most fitting for me? Sometimes we're trying to force something to work out because we feel like it presents a certain image. But again, it's like the one that's for you is going to come about. So stay
About
encouraged, right? For those that are watching, stay encouraged that the right thing is going to come through, and ask around, use your network of people to connect. Sometimes it's not what you know, but it's who you know. So making sure that you let people know, like, hey, I am looking for work. I am looking to do X, Y, and Z. Asking someone to look over your resume. You might think you have a strong resume, and someone else might look at it like, oh, hey, maybe you can consider doing um shifting your resume in this way or adding this. And do you present as someone who is well-rounded, which is what you kind of touched on earlier. It's great to be talented in a particular area, but it's important to be a well-rounded individual as well.
indeed, indeed, right?
Mm-hmm.
And similar to what I was saying too, it's good to be versatile, right? It's always good to
Yeah,
have that versatility because a lot of people too, I mean, they stay in one lane and remain in that lane. But
yes, yes, yeah.
gotta gotta realize that you can do so much more. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, networking. Yep. Networking is also important.
Yes.
That's the main thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's the main
Yeah,
thing because you don't know who you
yeah.
can meet.
You don't. And looking at everything as a not everything as a networking opportunity, but not limiting the people that you know, to say like, oh well, I never considered that the person at my front desk could be a networking opportunity, right? Because they're not in my field. Just like letting people know, like, hey, this is my interest, this is my passion. If you ever hear of anything, like, please let me know.
Right. Right.
So being open in that way.
And shifting gears for a little bit, Tamika. Do you believe like setbacks could redirect people towards their purpose?
Yes,
Because
absolutely.
it happened to me. That's all I'm saying. It
Yes,
happened to me. So I'm just wondering if you think that for everybody else.
I do. I do. I believe that setbacks, if you look at it as an opportunity for growth and an opportunity to learn whatever you can learn from that setback, I absolutely believe that it can be a springboard for you to move forward or for you to kind of jump into the next thing, right? For you to learn more about yourself, for you to learn more about your environment. So I absolutely agree with that. Yes.
Yeah. Maybe some people might not see it as that way,
Hmm.
and that's okay.
Yeah.
But it's our opinion. It's
Yeah.
true though. It
Yeah.
really can. Because if you really think about it, right? What if you get him rejected, right? Say maybe say if you didn't get rejected. Let's just say that, and you walk in there and you don't like the job.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Yeah,
Would you
that's a
rather
word.
work a job that
Yep.
you don't like and you
Yep.
have not throwing shit at anybody and you have like a dickhead boss or like dickhead coworkers,
That it's
right?
possible. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It's
Or would you
possible.
rather be somewhere where people share like the same again, right? Have the same maybe somewhat hobbies as you, right? Striving for their purpose, trying to figure out their life and have morals, right? I don't want to. I personally want to be around an environment like that,
Right. Right.
right? Even
Yes.
if the pay was low, I'd rather be somewhere where I'm supported, valued for my work ethic, right? I don't want to be
Yes.
somewhere where I'm not valued, even if it was the highest pay.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
understand money is the goal in life, but community and the environment is
It makes a
that's
difference.
what matters. That's really what
Yeah.
matters. Right?
Yeah. And that's why we can't force things that are not, in my, how I word it is like you can't force things that are not meant to be. Like sometimes we force ourselves into places, positions, into things that we see as an opportunity when it was never really meant for us. So yeah, you end up at a job with people that you're not too crazy about, or there's no real work-life balance. And so you're thinking, oh, it's a 9 to 5, and at 5 o'clock I'm clocking out, and the culture of everyone is to leave at 8 and 9 o'clock, and you're just like, oh, that I didn't realize that from the job description. And so really just trust in the process.
Gotcha.
And again, being a person of faith is like, those are the things that like I want to pray about, right? Those are the things that I want to be intentional to say, like, I'm going to set my intentions, I'm going to set my prayers on X, Y, and Z because that's what I hope to see in my life. I don't want to just like assume that because a company has a certain name or because I'm in a certain environment, it's going to be the right fit for me because that's not necessarily true.
It's so true.
Yeah.
Well, another thing I wanted to, this is an interesting follow-up question.
Mhm.
I've been questioning myself this too. I actually had conversations with my girlfriend about this too.
Okay.
Right? Would you rather work somewhere where they offer you the most money, but you don't like it, or work somewhere that you love, but the salary's low?
I'm gonna say the latter. I'm always going to tell people to, and unless, let me not say always, always and never can be kind of, tricky,
Uh-huh.
but more times than not, I think it's about following your passion because the money will come. In my fields of work, I think there are a lot of people that go around preaching and teaching. There is no money as a social worker, as a mental health provider. There's no money as, as someone who works in the field of education or whatever else. Do I see salaries online that are like, wait, what? Like, what are they offering for this position?
Yeah,
Yes, but there's money in the field. So I think that
there's money.
sometimes we need to be mindful of like what we're listening to and who we're hearing feedback from about um how you can or cannot make money. And if you follow your passion, in my opinion, in my experience, the money is going to come.
Money's gonna
It
follow.
may not
You
start
know what?
off that way, but it's
I was
going
just
to come.
gonna say that.
You have to have an inner hustle.
I was just gonna say that.
Yeah.
I personally operate with doing what I love to do because I know the
Yeah,
money will, right?
exactly.
I understand, and again, ties back to what I said. Money is the life goal, yes.
Mm-hmm.
What's
Mm-hmm.
also a life goal is striving for your purpose.
Yes. Yes.
Then the money will follow.
And the money is the resource. Like to me, the
Right.
money is not even the goal. The money is an opportunity to be able to operate in whatever purpose that you want to operate in, right? So I make money so that I can live a certain lifestyle. I work as hard as I do so that I can have more time for my friends and family. The money is going to, come and go
Right.
for me, but
Gonna
it's
run
the
my-
people around me and my loved ones and the things that I want to do with my free time that I'm utilizing that money or that resource for. But the money is, to me, is not the end goal.
Interesting. I would say,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't disagree. I
Mm-hmm.
don't
Mm-hmm.
disagree. Like the money is the bonus, right? But what's
Yes.
really, I would say, what's really, how do I say it? What's really like the life goal too is building a network
Mhm.
and um figuring out what you're passionate about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your greater good in the world. Looking at
Hmm.
something beyond yourself.
Because you could,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
really could. Anything is possible.
Yeah, exactly. Mind over
Anything,
matter.
right? Mind over
Yes.
matter for a reason. Mind over matter for a reason. So, what's one message you hope viewers take away from this episode, Tamika?
Oh, a message. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Just one. Let's see. Um,
Man,
good
man.
question. So a few things. I want to encourage people because I do believe sometimes that we are very hard on ourselves as people, as individuals, no matter like what walk of life you come from, that people can be hard on themselves. So I want to tell people or remind people that most people are doing the best they can. So most of you are doing the best you can with the time, the resources, and the energy that you have. And so what I mean by that is if you have unlimited time, so to speak, with none of us have unlimited time, but if you were to have unlimited time, there will be things that you will be able to accomplish versus being on, a time crunch, right? If you have more resources, there's more that you're able to access or there's more that you're able to do because of the resources. and your capacity. When I talk about capacity, I'm really talking about like the energy, your ability to navigate something. Some days you wake up, you may feel like you are at 70%. And that is all you have to give to the world for that day. Other days it may be 100, other days it may be 60. Being mindful of that will help you to consider how you show up in the world and to ensure that you don't experience excessive levels of burnout time and time again. And to just get solid people around you, like get people who are dreamers around you, get people who are
Yeah.
willing to pour back into you and who are able to see that you have a lot to offer the world, not just them, not for selfish reasons, but that you have a lot to offer the world. Similarly to us connecting today, Nick, like I think that this is an awesome platform. And so anytime I have an opportunity to talk about mental health and wellness and just building yourself up, like spiritually, emotionally, mentally, it's a wonderful opportunity. So I think as much as possible, people figuring out what is their purpose, giving themselves some grace, not being too hard on themselves, and to just get some really dope people around you. I think that that's key.
Completely agree. Completely agree. And to wrap it up, what is I ask this question all the time. What does mind over matter mean to you?
Mind over matter. So, mind over matter to me means that you are making a conscious decision to put yourself in a mental space to overcome any challenge, any obstacle, anything that you may be dealing with in the natural sense. So, having a great mind over the matter is being able to say, you know what, I know that this is a difficult situation, but I'm able to overcome anything that I put my mind to. Anything that I want to accomplish, I can see it through if I have a strong mindset, if my mental health is doing well, and so focusing our attention on those things.
I totally agree. I totally agree.
Yeah.
Shifting gears for a second. Yes,
Okay.
I could cut this clip out.
Okay, okay, no problem.
Um, I think I I think throughout the episode, I think my mic was muted.
Just a certain, I think that it went in and out, but not for long periods of time. I heard you the whole time. I don't know.
Yeah, I think when I'll look back into the video to see if I can
Okay.
edit it.
Okay.
But
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
I just hope that.
No, I think you're good. There was just maybe like certain points that it went in and out, but I think that you're good. Yes. We're good. We're
Okay,
good.
okay, no, because the audio, because it said the audio was unmuted or something like that. So I'm like, oh no, I hope I wasn't muted the whole time.
No, no, you weren't. You weren't.
Okay, I'll look at it from here. But
Okay.
anyways,
When you
thank you, Tamika, so much for coming on today. It means a
appreciate
lot.
it.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
If you guys tuned into my recent episode, make sure you guys do episode 20 with Coach Dan and Coach Brooke. I think you guys will really resonate with that episode and even this episode because this episode is all about overcoming challenges and how we can mentally overcome obstacles. So again, thank you, Tamika. Keep on
Thank
shining and keep on encouraging our youth to be their best.
you. I appreciate it.
Mhm.
And you do the same, Nick. Take care.
Okay, thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Peace out. Take
Peace.
care.